Hi, namaste, everyone. I noticed that here's a big question I ask a lot of you. Are you someone who tends to like things that people post, and when you like them, they are based on feeding your ego? I notice that many of you pay attention to posts that, from a lower vibrating standpoint, they feed your ego and the notions of battling against the world. And I know this because through meditation, I've been able to step into an infinite amount of inner and outer perspectives that others have. How? Because, long story short, I've been there, done that. All right. I've had beliefs like that. Sometimes those beliefs try to sneak in. All right. And given what I've learned how to manage through those beliefs, how to weave through those doubts that start to pop up and try to replant themselves in my heart and my belief system. And I've been able to get rid of them little by little. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but again, each person is a master of themselves, and it is your absolute job as spiritual entrepreneurs or just beings in general, infinite beings, to just master yourself. Right? This is why we've said that it is important to have a journal and to journal and become self-observant. Right? And in a lot of science, it's so much, there's a lot of observing the outer world. But even in science, they know that there is the observation problem, aka, which basically describes the idea that, or the concept that, your mere observation of whatever it is you're observing, even an atom, affects it. All right. So this is known. Okay. Now, you don't need the science for that. Okay. You don't need the science community to tell you that. You just need to observe yourself. Okay. You need to observe that. For example, how many times have you observed that when you thought something was negative, or when you assumed something to be negative, it turned out to not be so? And you're like, oh shit, why the hell did I think that? It's because you have certain belief systems and certain rules that you have to get rid of, and you have to go through a reprogramming phase. All right? So I notice that a lot of people tend to do that. A lot of people tend to like a post because it feeds their ego. All right? It can be a post talking about, for example, I'll give you guys an example. I shared a post, and this post says, here it is. Sometimes you have to let people go and tell them good riddance, but not in a bad way, and not literally tell them good riddance, but if you do, make sure they know it's not in a bad way. Wish everyone well as much as you wish yourself well. And I notice, all right, from friends and family, that people tend to like that because what seems to resonate, if I were to step into the lower frequency of the being against the world, what resonates with them is that word good riddance. Because how many times do we hear that? Oh, fuck you. Good riddance. Goodbye. Don't need you in my life. All right. And there may be truth to that, but we get so caught up in the ego behind that. And so we create this wall and this barrier, and this is why you see humans don't really tend to have the best connection with each other. When you look at the animal kingdom, quote unquote animal kingdom or queendom, when you look at the animal realm, okay, they seem to have this connection with each other easier, and they're quick to let each other know, hey, leave me alone. But they also, especially if you see, we can learn a lot from the dogs, the cats, and the dolphins especially. They have this, this family oriented state of being. You look at the people in Africa, the tribes, and they have that, right? Yet in Western society and today's modern society, we seem to have a struggle with that. Why? So my question to you guys is, why do you feed your egos so much? Why not feed if you're going to feed your ego, why not feed the elevated version of yourself? In other words, the version that says that what is available for you is also available for everyone else. And that it is your job to let everyone else know that. First, it is your job to let yourself know that. That's called self-nurturing, self-care. That also comes with different exercises, such as different things you could do for yourself, such as taking time to meditate. We can include yoga. We can include Tai Chi. We can include martial arts. In other words, nurturing yourself in all aspects, spiritually, intellectually, and physically. But also being able to share that same abundance and that same, I guess you could say, that same knowledge with everyone else, all right? Now, obviously, if others don't get that and people are stuck on negativity and, they're not budging, there's a phrase that says you could lead a horse to water, you can't force it to drink. In other words, there's also the phrase that says that's their poison, let them take it, okay? So you did your best and that's all that matters. And at that point, when it's time to let go, yes, good riddance, but wish them well, all right? So I noticed that. So our reminder to you today is, in this video, don't become a liker of posts simply because it feeds your ego. Don't do that. Especially for those religious, I call them religious extremists, all right? Christians, etc., who, when they see someone talk about either going through something rough, all right, they're quick to tell the other person, you need God. And who are you to tell them that they don't have God? Or all you need is Jesus. I've seen that too. Those kinds of people are very quick to tell their Christian clique of people that, that's what you need. You just need Jesus. You just need God. You just need to do this. You just need to do that. But then when that person who made that post shares something that they're passionate about, everyone is silent. I've seen this. This shows this actually shows and confirms the behavior that I have observed and that we have observed in people. That disconnection, that discontinuity, that discord between people, right? And if we want to get rid of that, it needs to start with you being very responsible for your self-improvement in all aspects of your life, of your whole entire beingness, spiritually, intellectually, and physically. I've had people tell me, it's not all physical. Well, it's not all spiritual. Well, guess what? It is all spiritual. It is all spiritual, like it or not. You believe that. It is all spiritual. Because what you call logic, what you call reasoning, is tied very much to your emotions. Very much to your emotions. So don't try to be something you are not. And by this we mean, don't try to be a robot, because you're not a robot. Okay? And heck, probably a robot could do better than that. But nah, I doubt it. All right. I think if we're going to talk about robots or we're going to talk about artificial intelligence, I say we're probably the best form of evolved intelligence that has ever existed, that we have created in these vessels. Anyways, hope that helps you guys out. So what's the lesson? Stop liking posts that feed your ego. All right? Stop doing that. Because then you're sending a message. You're, in a sense, believe it or not, you're sending the wrong message to the person who put the post. Right? And you're only fortifying that separation, that spirit of division between you and your human brothers and sisters, and even your animal, quote unquote, brothers and sisters. Drink your copper infused water. If this has helped you guys out, check us out on Instagram. Take a deep breath, relax, meditate. Connect with us on Instagram. Connect with us on Facebook. All right? And we'll see you guys soon. You have a question, send us a message. Namaste. Peace.